Welcome to the Story Eyed Podcast. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Jen. On this show, we talk about all things Williams syndrome. We're excited to share our community with you. Thanks for being here.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, bro. How you doing?
I feel like I've just seen you.
I know, right?
It's only been a couple days. For those of you listening and for tuning in, once again, we are Jenless.
Yeah.
She is in, well, it's that time of year where people are sick and she is, she's got mom stuff.
Yep.
A parent. So have you dug out from all the snow?
Yeah, we have. Mom and I spent the day shoveling a path from our the back door to the music shed, and we're all shoveled out. And yeah, it's
Are the temperature's going to go up a bit, so you're going to get some melt?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So thankfully, just a small little reprieve for a little bit, and then allegedly there's more snow coming. So who knows?
We're entering that time where we're going to get all the false springs and the second winters and third winters and fourth winters. There's always
so on and so forth.
Yeah, there's always usually a storm that coincides with the NCAA men's basketball tournament.
Yeah.
To me, that's more of an indicator than Puxatawny Phil.
Right.
Hey, but post snowstorm, when the weather starts getting nice, what do our minds start turning towards? Camp. I'm so happy that this worked out because I knew they had meetings tonight, and so they were all going to need to be together. So I'm like, hey, I wonder if we can get all three of our camp leaders on Zoom and we can talk about camp. So yeah, we have Nirakar, Thakur, and Emma Thomas and Nick Conley. The three of them run Camp WSA. Hey, we actually have a camp logo now. By doing this, by pointing sort of at the camera. For the video version, that means that it's going to pop up on the screen now. It's exciting. Camp is a big deal. It is so much fun. Did you do like any other camps though when you were younger?
No, just Belvoir Terrace, the OG as Emma calls it, and then the Nashville camp.
Yeah,
that's pretty much been my experience. But
when you were a
little love to go to like Camp Blue Skies or anything like that. Yeah.
You've always said that, like, post your time on the board. Yeah, that's when you can
kind of have like some chill time and just like do things that I want to do, and have fun with my people.
Absolutely. Yep. Camp is at the end of May 24th through May 29th. Hey, it's part of Awareness Month, Awareness Month. So come spend it at camp. It's down in Georgia at this really great facility, Camp Twin Lakes. We didn't touch on it. Camp Twin Lakes actually has 3 campuses that are all dedicated to doing camps for kids with any number of challenges. And, of course, the Williams syndrome camp weeks are the best. But
of course.
And in no way are we biased, but it's just true. Camp spots are still open. Go to williams-syndrome.org/Camp WSA and you can learn more about it. There's a camp for kids like 6 to 12, and then 13 to, we can make exceptions up to 21, and, depending on the person's abilities and needs. And scholarships are available if you're if you're worried a little bit about cost. Well, scholarships are available. And I didn't mention that we didn't talk about this during the interview. Staff, we could always use staff, and staff can be, you have a loved one with Williams syndrome, if you are a sibling, if you have Williams syndrome and you're an adult with Williams syndrome, you can come down and help guide the youngins and help them become better at things.
Yeah.
So it's really a special time. It's really, really fun. I hope that you all enjoy this conversation. It's a lot of voices.
It's a lot of voices, but it's a lot of fun voices.
But we have, that's what happens when you have 3 guests on at the same time over Zoom. But it was so great to have Emma, Nick, and Nirakar come in and talk about, because they have been around for a long time.
Yep.
So enjoy the show.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Morgan Jane Starkman from Inner Sense Organic Beauty, and I'm so excited to share something that I love, our Hair Renew Scalp Hair Bath and Soothing Conditioner. Soothes my hair and soothes my scalp irritation. These products leave my scalp feeling truly calm, and they make me feel confident and cared for, and I think you'll love them too. Let's take care of our scalp and hair together. Try them today and save 15% on your first purchase with my code Morgan15 at InnerSenseBeauty.com.
All right. Well, hey, Emma. Hi, Nick. Hi, Nirakar. How are you?
Great. Nice to meet you.
Good. Nice to meet you, Brendan.
Nice to meet you too.
Oh, Steve.
So good. Glad to be back.
Once again, I just always assume Brendan knows everybody and everybody knows Brendan.
No,
So I didn't. So I'm terribly sorry. I didn't realize that you guys had never met.
it's okay.
All right, Brendan, continue. Continue with the awkward.
It is all good. So welcome back, Emma, and welcome new friends. So for those who might not know who you are, why don't you take a few seconds to each introduce yourselves and tell everyone a little bit about yourselves.
Thank you. So I'm Emma. I have been on the podcast before to talk about camp, and I'm so happy to be back.
Yeah.
I think this is my maybe 12th summer with camp at this point. And I am also working with the WSA on other programming stuff. So I help with convention and camp. I've been on the leadership team for camp for a long time now. So happy to be back. I love to talk about camp. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, Emma was on episode 31 with
I was
Take a listen.
with Josh.
That was
With
just-
How
Josh.
do you remember that, Brendan? Very impressive.
I looked.
Yep.
Oh,
I
Oh,
looked.
we're
just to
a
be
tight
sure.
ship over here. We're tight.
Yep.
We prep. We're
Just
doing
to
all
be
this
sure.
shit.
Research.
What
Yeah,
was I
they do all the
thinking?
stuff.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this
Yep.
is So all right. Well, let's go to Nick.
Hey, everybody. My name is Nick Conley. I will be the programs coordinator for camp this year. Last year was my first team on the leadership team, and I've been coming to Williams Syndrome camp since, I believe, 2015. I found the program as a music therapy student, so I've been a part of all sorts of different music camp-related things over the years.
Uh-huh.
And now Nirakar.
Hey, everybody. My name's Nirakar Thakur. I got involved with camp through my sibling Donovan, who was involved with camp for a long time. I've been involved with camp. I think my first year was 16 or 17, but I love camp. I will always be at camp if we hold camp. So, and I love talking about it, and I'm excited to be here.
That's awesome.
And you three are, and I say this with all affection, our three-headed monster that helps make all the decisions, that makes camp go. So you guys have been, you guys have been part of camp for many, many years. Brendan, did you ever, like when you were like a teenager and a kid, did you participate in any of the camps at that point, like when you were younger?
Not like Whispering Trails or Blue Skies. I did the Nashville camp a bunch of times.
Yep.
And then I started out at Belvoir Terrace, which was up in Massachusetts. And that's where I initially met anybody who had Williams syndrome. So
OG camp.
yeah.
Camp before Whispering Trails.
Yeah.
Oh. So of everybody on this in this interview, I have the least amount of experience with camp, and that's totally fine. I never went to camp. You all know this because I've shared this with you. I never went to camp as a kid. I never had any sort of camp experience until I guess my first one would have been Camp Blue Skies, the camp for adults. But then my first kid camp was when I came with my son a few years ago, and wow. Yeah, that was it's something else. So Emma, how did you discover, well, I guess would it have been Whispering Trails at that point, or was it prior to Whispering Trails?
Whispering Trails. So I got started with Whispering Trails because of how I got involved with the WSA. So a local family that I've known, gosh, most of my life, the Hafers, shout out. When convention was coming to Columbus, they said, hey, we signed you up to be on this committee, show up at this meeting. And so I did, and I found out I was going to run the teen program, and Terry Moncaba said to me, Emma, you got to go to camp if you're going to run the teen program, and the rest is history. I was a program leader for a long time, and then I became the assistant camp director, and now we have a leadership team to make camp more sustainable into the future, which has been a really good decision for camp. And over that time, we've seen camp kind of become this really when we moved to Camp Twin Lakes, they had so much to offer in such an accessible way that maybe we hadn't had at previous locations. It was so important to us to make all of those fun adventures, the zip lining, the rock wall, horseback riding. I'm gonna miss a whole bunch of them.
Yeah,
more accessible to our campers.
Yeah.
And so that's what we've done. We've kind of like really leaned into what they can offer, while still bringing the specialized support and team and staff to make camp really accessible and fun, and this like special memorable
should be a
experience
word
for our kids and teens.
Special should be
Should be a new word in the dictionary.
I like special. So then, Nick, you said you came in you discovered camp as a music therapy student. Right. And so, like, was that when the camp was still in Michigan or in Ohio?
Yeah, I was at Camp Nisqually in Michigan, Whispering Trails style of camp. And, while camp has evolved a lot over the years, I can still look back and see, our core values of what camp means and it's really what the purpose of it hasn't changed at all. So, the core values of this being a community specific to Williams syndrome and, providing new opportunities for everybody to try as campers, and together those bonding moments and opportunities to grow, that hasn't changed at all. And, even with our shift here to Camp Twin Lakes, we're still able to, offer a lot of the great musical programs that we do with, talent shows every night. We've seen every kind of performance you could imagine under the sun at those talent shows.
And almost all of them are defying gravity.
Yes, yeah. Huge hit.
My understanding, and please correct me if I have completely learned my history wrong. When camp started, there really wasn't this sort of there was no infrastructure of camps really for kids and teens with the unique abilities of Williams syndrome. And so it was kind of like, we got to create this from scratch. And now, especially Twin Lakes, like you said, Emma, seeing what they have to offer allows to okay, we don't have to necessarily create everything. We can utilize this and then bring in the things that make our Williams syndrome camps special. Am I completely off on that?
No, I think that's right. We're able to use their, base programming and just make it special and, bring in what makes our group unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's right. Yeah.
And Nirakar, when I met you, Nirakar, you were like the jack of all trades. So it was like Nirakar has the camera around his neck. He's recording everything. He's chronicling the whole experience.
Exterminating bugs
when need be, when, it's
saving my life.
And now, and then it was when we decided to, frankly, it kind of came about because when the time shift happened, then we were able to hey, Nirakar, let's utilize all of your talents and put it in, and let's focus it a little bit. How has camp evolved for you personally as you've kind of started with Donovan and I'm assuming, am I right on that? Donovan sort of brought you hey, come along.
Yeah, most definitely. Man, camp certainly has evolved, and I think it's evolved in a way that, one, it's like a broader outreach and community, and two, structurally, it's been foundationalized, or it's starting to be foundationalized, and for replication, and longevity, and sustainability, right? Ultimately improving accessibility for everyone, campers, staff, administration, the organization. And I think that my involvement, going from having a camera to being like an administrative gopher where I have the capabilities to do the things and going for this and going for that, to being a part of the leadership team has one, I'm honored to be thought of to be there, but two, I tend to move forward with that accessibility and sustainability in mind. And I think that our team with Emma and Nick and you, Joel, really do, we keep that in mind. Like at our heart of every conversation we have. And opening up to CTL, right? When we first were down in CTL, it was, kind of utilizing the older model of ideas that we had around camps and sites. And here we are for the first time with an organization where their entire credo is accessibility. And they are a massive organization that deals with individuals with special needs across the entirety of the spectrums. And that partnership is just enriching our camp, our campers, our staff, the organization, all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, I would just add, CTL only serves special populations. So they serve individuals with developmental disabilities. They serve individuals with high medical needs. And then I'm not sure the exact language they use, but people with unfortunate life circumstances. So people who have lost someone or, are just experiencing some type of life hardship. And so, they've got good stuff happening and we're lucky to get to utilize it.
Yeah, to have, those unique needs really at the forefront of every staff member's mind, you can really feel the support coming from them as a partner. It's great being
that actually is a perfect lead into the thing that I wanted to talk about next is because of last year, camp used to be in like August, or in the middle of summer. But I can't remember, like when it was in Ohio and Michigan, you guys had it was like kind of more in the dead of summer, and it was over 2 weeks because it was like a week.
It was the last week of July and first week of August for I don't know, 15 years.
Yeah, and so when Camp Twin Lakes, because out of necessity, moved us to the end of May, which was not ideal, and in some ways it's still not ideal. We're still working to try to get that sweet spot for camp. But last year we were the first camp of the summer for the staff at CTL, and I'm not sure we could have possibly provided them a higher high to start their summer because our campers, our parents, our volunteers just were like, hey, you may have worked with kids with challenges before, but you ain't seen nothing like this. So I hope that I don't even really hope. I know that for this year's camp, it's going to be that same sort of thing, albeit at a different location than what we had last year. But it's actually a location that we've been to before. But last year we had a little pit stop over in Winder, Georgia, and now we're back at Rutledge.
I think is interesting because one of our first times at CTL West, which is the site we're going to be back at this year, was their last week of camp. And so we've been both their last week and their first week for their summer seasons.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point.
And that's because of numbers on their end. So,
Sure.
I don't want to speak for Camp Twin Lakes. Their focus is to just serve as many children and people as absolutely possible in the summer. And because we require the site to ourselves, that limits the weeks that from their perspective make sense for us. But what I will just say is on the back end of this, Joel and I are having very strategic conversations with the WSA and CTL to try to get some weeks, some better weeks.
I mean, the goal is we're going to provide more and more opportunities. Obviously, it would be great if we could have more camps. There's right now we run the camps. The camps are consecutive. Oh yeah, let's talk about that. The kid camp and teen camp are happening at the same time, which thank the Lord for the
it was a handful to figure out at first.
Another reason why we need a leadership team is because we're essentially doing two camps at once.
That was a hard transition.
Yeah, because all three of you have been a part.
It's an understatement.
Yeah, all
That's
three
another
of you have been a part of camp. When camp was
Before and after.
Yeah, the before and afterwards. Talk about that insanity.
Yeah, that year of combining the two camps was the year that Alex Carrico, so previous camp director Donovan, and I were the camp leadership team. Kind of like I was in training, right, that year to become the camp director. But all of that aside, I mean, logistically, it was a big challenge to figure out how to make all the spaces work and all of those things. I mean, without a doubt, it was very challenging. But, like we've all said, we were focused on creating a space for campers to come and make the magic of camp. And we made it happen. And it was fine. It was fine. But
Yeah.
this model just is able to serve more people and serve more interests. And, I'll keep saying it. Access is the most important thing. And everything is accessible at this site. And so, Joel, you also said something, and I just wanted to point out about being like the best week of summer is the week that our campers are there.
Yeah,
Nick and I were lucky enough to attend the Camp Twin Lakes Partner Conference this year. And there was this big messaging, the theme, I don't know, the theme maybe is the right word, was belonging. The whole message was about belonging. And like Dan Matthews, like experience officer of Camp Twin Lakes, was like, I just want to point out Emma here, who works with the Williams Syndrome Association, and her campers, like, that's what they create, this sense of belonging. This, like, I don't know exactly what he said, but like they have this special ability to just make everybody feel like they are right where they need to be. And I've said it before, Joel, and I'll keep saying it. That's what makes our program so special.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this and you've never been to camp, and you have Williams syndrome, or you have a loved one with Williams syndrome, doesn't matter what your needs are, doesn't matter, what you're experiencing, we'll make camp happen for you. Come to camp. Come to camp.
Yeah. Camp for a lot of kids, Brendan, like the camp, ACM camp, Lifting Lives camp, that's like staying in dorms, right?
Yeah, we stay at Vanderbilt University in dorms, and it's really cool because we get to do everything as a group and also do separate things. And I was also fortunate enough to be one of the counselors there a couple of the years just to help out. But yeah, it's a very cool vibe, and it's really fun.
And so even though it's adults, I mean, there's got to be people, even as adults, that this might be their first time staying away from home.
Yeah, there have been instances where things like that have come up.
Yeah. And that's also a big part of Camp WSA. It's for a lot of times it's, for the little kids, they're there with a parent, but it's still sleeping someplace and being someplace where they, for multiple days that they, it's not home. And for the teen, I mean, for a lot of the teens, it's the first time that they're, being in a cabin without, on their own, being left to their own devices. Oh boy.
Yep.
But
yeah, and for me, it's like, ooh, new camper. Let me show you the ropes. Let me help you. Yep.
Well, yeah.
One of the things that we really impress upon the staff when we're doing staff training before WSA camp is that camp is the time, right? It is that time to take. We understand outside of camp time, you have things to get to. You have appointments. You have time constraints, right? And you know what? Maybe now is not the time to learn how to tie your shoes, or have me teach you how to shave your face, or to help you rinse your hair out. And camp is that time. How many campers I hear every year, I did this for the first time by myself. I just got goosebumps, right?
Yes,
it happens every year. And like, I'm getting teary. Like it is that, right? It is that powerful.
It's so many firsts at camp.
Yeah.
I do.
So really what
have to
we're
run
wondering
now.
though, Brendan, is when are you submitting your application to come to WSA camp? Because we can
Next
use you
year.
on staff.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Next
Brendan,
year,
we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
We
Applications
have.
are live.
Once
This
it gets
is
off
my
the board.
last year on the board, so I've got a lot of obligations. But next year, it's a game on. I am
We
totally coming to
need
camp.
board members at camp.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm coming to camp for sure.
I
So,
can speak
What
with
about
the
now?
board and get you obligation free that week.
and it'll happen. We just,
It's gonna happen. I'll
What
make time
episode
for it, don't
number
you
is
worry.
this?
This one is 86.
So next year at episode 103, I'm going to say, we'll be on. I'll be like, Brendan, in episode 86, you said this year you were coming to camp, but I haven't received your application yet. Would you like to do it together?
All right.
We're
would
gonna
love
do
to do
that.
So as we wrap up here, let's make sure that everybody knows what, their camp is still open. There are scholarships available for camp.
Yes.
So camp is this year from May 24th to May 29th. Yes, that's Memorial Day week, but hey, it has
Come to camp.
Better place to
spend
be.
Memorial Day at
Right.
camp.
One less day of PTO you got to take.
Yep.
More
Rutledge
fun than
West.
anywhere else.
Yeah, we're going to be at Camp Twin Lakes in Rutledge West in Rutledge, Georgia. You can, if you want to fly in, you can just fly right into Atlanta. We'll have a shuttle that takes you out to camp. And you can find out all the information, sign up for, apply for a scholarship at williams-syndrome.org/Camp WSA. Nirakar, Emma, Nick, thank you guys so much. It was so fun to have all three of you on. And I know that as a parent and as someone who is lucky enough to work with people with Williams syndrome every day, having the three of you lead our camp, and let's give a shout out to Marcelina, because she was part of the team last year, but she, it's either, for her, it's either convention or camp, and this is a convention year. So, but the three of you being part of, leading this and helping it evolve and create more and more opportunities. I love the three of you. Can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Phil.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for having us. Come to
Thanks,
camp.
Brendan.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Come to camp. It's the place to be.
You've been listening to the Starry-Eyed Podcast, presented by the Williams Syndrome Association and sponsored by Inner Sense Organic Beauty. The show is hosted by Jennifer Keaton and Brendan Lemieux and produced by me, Joel Listman. All music by Tommy Barbarella and Mariella Elm. Got a question for the show? Email us at podcast@williams-syndrome.org. Video version of the podcast available on the Williams Syndrome Association channel on YouTube and on the Starry-Eyed Podcast page on Facebook. Audio version available wherever you get your podcast delights. So like and subscribe and help spread some Williams syndrome awareness.